Hey guys, it's Tondro. So today, I want to talk about what working with the public has taught me. Now, I seldom ever had work ever. The longest I had a job was for I want to say 2 months, and I've held a total of maybe 3 jobs in the past 10 years since I got out of high school. I am chronically unemployed, chronically underemployed. I chalk that up to a number of things, namely being on the autism spectrum and various institutions not wanting to actually help me. The the Department of Labor literally has a thing for people with disabilities. And, depending on who you ask, PTSD and autism are disabilities. So I ended up getting involved with DVRS, which is Department of Vocational Rehab Services or something like that. Basically, their sole thing is to help people with disabilities get a job. I've been involved with them off and on since I was 22 years old. I'm now 29. So, yeah, something tells me they're not doing too much of anything. But I'm going to be completely honest. When it comes to my current situation, actually better yet, the country, the United States, the current situation, the job market is cooked. But I want to impart something I've noticed on the few times I have worked public-facing jobs. The first job I ever had was with the Salvation Army. And what I did for 3 weeks, it was a contract. So, after a certain amount of time, my contract would be up and I'd be back on the unemployment line. During this time, I was a bell ringer, which is the guy ringing the bell to collect donations. And I'm sitting outside of a store somewhere, right? So I'm out there. I am freezing in the cold. I am cold. I am out there for 10 hours a day, and I'm being paid $10 a day to freeze my ass off. And they didn't pay me that much money because, of course, the boss will lie and say, oh, he left early, or oh, he didn't work that day or whatever. So my paycheck at the end of the week would not be in the $1,000 range. It would be the 500, maybe $580. But more to the point, my experience working with the public then was very, very interesting. One thing I noticed immediately is just how, maybe it's just where I live, but how just nakedly cruel people will be just to each other just randomly. You will not know me from Adam, and people will not know me from Adam, and then they will treat me like I just shot their dog. There was this one woman who was there who was just she just kept ranting and raving about how I needed to accept Jesus, and and the Salvation Army isn't a real church. And I'm just lady, I am doing this literally for the money. And I spent a good 3 hours. I spent a good three hours debating this woman. It was insane. I did that just to pass the time, but this woman decided to pick a fucking verbal argument with me, a total stranger, in the middle of a fucking ShopRite parking lot. That's her issue. That's her issue. She's the fucking one in the wrong with that one. And the thing is too is within what I learned, point number fucking one, within the first 60 seconds of meeting you, I know exactly the kind of person you are. In 60 seconds, I can tell everything I need to know about you. I can tell whether or not we're going to get along. What I mean by that is this. If there was this one, okay, better yet, here's a story. Same job, by the way, same job. I'm ringing my bell. I'm sitting outside of the supermarket. I'm sitting outside of, out of the supermarket comes a couple and their son. The couple are deaf. The woman is completely deaf, been deaf her whole life. The husband is hard of hearing, and the son is hearing. The son is totally capable, right? He can hear me. The son's like 13, by the way. The guy comes out, the dad comes out, and I didn't say anything to this dude. I didn't even look in his direction. He walks up to me, and he's like a short manlet. He's like 5'5", like he's up to like here. He comes up to me. He's smoking a cigarette, blows it in my face. He starts complaining openly to me, a random stranger, about his son. He says, my son's a piece. He comes up to me. He's like, my son's a piece of shit. My son's a fucking idiot. I'm hard of hearing and my fucking wife's deaf. And he doesn't want to learn sign language. He was ripping his son a new one. Unprompted, I didn't even make eye contact with this guy. He starts coming up to me, talking in vivid detail about how his son pees all over the toilet, how his son is an entitled brat, how he spent $200 to buy his kid a new Xbox, and his kid's so ungrateful. How he's gonna abandon him and send him into the military at 18. He went on like a 15-minute diatribe about how his son sucked at football and he will never amount to anything because he can't play football. I didn't know what the fuck to do, because at the time I was like 19 and I was just like, I could go to jail today if I hit this guy, so I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. I kept trying to butt in, but he didn't want to fucking listen. I say, hey, listen, that kid, I told the kid when the parents started walking away, and I said, hey kid, in 8 years, put him in a retirement home. That's what I did. Because in 8 years, he's going to be an adult. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, he'd be like 21. So yeah, no, I'd say, hey kid, when you're in your 20s, fucking put that guy in a retirement home. I can tell everything about those parents and how they do not deserve to have a kid, because no trustworthy adult is going to shame a child in broad daylight in public to a stranger. No one. I learned everything I need to know about that household within the first 20 seconds of this guy yelling at me about how horrible his 13-year-old is. The 13-year-old that he created. I know that I'm an anarchist and I don't believe in governments, but if I was in charge of the government, I would say, okay, listen, there's a lot of parents who have no business being parents. I hate to say this is the most draconian shit I'm ever going to say, but I would have it so that you need a license to be a parent. I believe that just as you need training to become a teacher or to become a pediatrician, you absolutely need training to become a parent. I believe fully that if you are planning to have a kid, you need to go through the proper channels and get a license. I honestly do. Maybe not to have children, like not to reproduce, but definitely to raise children. I think you need a license to raise children. That's the distinction I want to make. I'm not a eugenicist. You can have as many kids as you want. It's a question of whether or not you're a capable adult to raise them. I believe I would have been a great dad. I would have been a great dad compared to 80% of these people out there. And maybe that's the reason why I hang around so many younger, like, transgender people, is because I know that if I was a parent, I would accept my kid no matter what gender they were. You know, I don't give a shit what anyone says. I think a parent's love for their kid should be unconditional. That's just my opinion on the matter. But yeah, no, and the thing is too, is the same week, later on, the exact same week, I'm out there ringing my bell. I put my bell down or put it away to do something. I can't remember what it was. I had to do something. I think I had to like get a drink of water or something. I had my water bottle with me and I chugged down some water. And then this woman is yapping on her cell phone really loudly as she passes me by. And she is going into visceral detail saying, my son who's in the Marine Corps, yeah, he was at boot camp today and he saw some abuse, but he didn't say anything. I'm so proud of my son for not being a snitch. I'm glad he didn't say shit. And this is a white woman. This random white woman is saying how proud of her she was for her son to, one, be in the Marines, which is reasonable, and two, that he saw abuse happening at I'm assuming Paris Island, and didn't say anything. So you can Sierra Alpha someone. You could just say, yeah, my son saw some horrible shit and didn't say anything, and I'm proud that my son isn't going to hold people accountable. That says to me everything I need to know about that. That says to me everything I need to know about that random white woman. I don't know that white woman's age, name, whatever. I just know what she looked like, and that she was like maybe in her mid 40s and white, and probably assumably from New Jersey. But the rest, I could understand everything I need to know about her. She's probably MAGA, probably devout Christian nationalist, probably most likely has a very like Italian American Cosa Nostra, everyone needs to be a criminal type shit. You know, that kind of glorification of crime that's kind of very weird with Italian Americans. I'm not an Italian American, but I grew up around them. I mean, again, this is New Jersey. It's kind of like a cultural expectation that you bend the rules, you cut corners, and you're doing some kind of not so, some sort of illicit side gig of some kind. But yeah, no, everything I need to know about them, And the thing is too, is like, and this isn't me like being anti-immigration or anything like that, or anti-immigrant, but there is some truth to, because New Jersey is like the most like majority minority state there is. It's very post-white flight, especially where I live. In this surrounding area, there's quite a few white people, but the moment you start walking south, you're not going to see as many white people, especially if you go to like, especially if you go to like the more densely populated areas, there's like no fucking white people. But there is something I have noticed, and this is even the white immigrants, even like the Russians and Poles and the Ukrainians that come out here, they I hate to say this, but they don't assimilate. They don't teach their kids English. They don't. This isn't a race thing, because even the Ukrainian and Polish immigrants I see, they don't seem to teach their kids English. They don't really adapt to the culture or anything like that. Hell, there was this one time, and again, going back to the job, I was ringing my bell outside of the fucking stupid Walmart or whatever, trying to collect donations. This Russian guy doesn't speak any English. He gets into an argument with another Russian guy. They start kicking each other in the crotch. They start kicking each other in the crotch in the middle of the fucking parking lot, arguing about God knows what. Yeah, and the thing is too is that's just the people that are coming over here. As the native born citizens, I've noticed if they're suffering, they're really suffering. I've had on numerous occasions, homeless people try to either sell or buy from me cigarettes, drugs, things like that. Like unprompted, I will be minding my own business, and a random crackhead will come up to me and be like, "Hey, do you got any crack on you? I need some crack. I can buy you crack for like, can I buy some crack off of you? I want crack. I got $150 on me. Please give me drugs." Stupid, crazy shit like that. Crazy shit like that. People will they just don't know how to behave, and that was before the pandemic. All that. The Salvation Army shit, that was before the pandemic. Another thing I learned working with the public is everyone's a criminal. Everyone is a criminal. When I worked for Dunkin', and this one time, and a little bit later, I worked for like in a construction thing, but it wasn't like on paper. It was like completely off the record. Like some Jamaican guy hired me to dig a ditch for him. Better yet, I'll tell you about the Jamaican guy. The Jamaican guy, he hires me to dig a ditch for him. The whole time he's sipping lemonade. I have no water, no nothing. It's 90 degrees out. It's the middle of August. He starts talking to me about how he grew up in the area, like he's from Jamaica, but he grew up in the area, blah, blah, blah. And he's talking about how this is true, would set up dog fights. He would set up dog fights, and that's how he made all of his money to afford his 2 houses and 2 cars, is through dog fights. And then he says openly in broad daylight, yeah, I have warrants in 3 different states. I own property in Canada that's not under my name, so I can do tax evasion in Canada. This guy was talking like he's a fucking menace to society, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm the one that gets locked up. I'm the one that loses 19 days of my freedom. This guy is talking in visceral detail about the dog fights he used to do, and every time he needed to bury a dog, he would go to the apartments. There's apartments like literally like a 10-minute walk from where I'm currently standing. Those apartments are constantly under construction. They have never been finished, right? One apartment building will go up, and then like 10 years later, another one will go up. He says, yeah, every time I need to bury a dog, I just go to those apartments and I just bury them in the gravel or whatever, like giant mounds of gravel that are always there. And I'm just like, shit, like this guy, you can't, like the thing is too, is even if he's making all this shit up, who in their right mind starts lying about that kind of shit? Who in their right mind will decide, okay, that's what I'm going to lie to people about, lie to people and say that I'm a criminal? What do you get from that? Other than a police investigation and everyone wanting to get the fuck away from you, what do you get out of that? And not to mention, I mean, I understand I kind of look Jewish, the sleepy eyes, the relatively weird nose, the beard, I get it, I look Jewish. I'm not Jewish, by the way, I don't know where that comes from, but like people unprompted, it will be just random places. I'll be at the hospital, I'll be at a wedding, I'll be at a funeral, I'll be walking on the sidewalk. A random fucking asshole will come up to me and ask me, "Are you Jewish?" And I've had that happen to me like twice in the same like span of like 2 months. I remember this one time there was like this fucking, when I was locked up, there was this fucking kid named Jacob with a bowl cut. He fucking comes up to me, he's like, "Are you Jewish, man? You look rich and Jewish." Like the thing is too, is like he's stoned out of his gourd because when you're in the psych ward, they give you fucking Xanax every 5 minutes. So I'm not being hyperbolic. They actually did give us Xanax every 5 minutes. I don't know what the fuck that was about. I kept telling them, "Hey, I have a benzo allergy. You can't give me this shit." They still gave it to me anyway. They were like, "We don't care." They don't fucking care, dude. But yeah, no, from what I learned working with the public is like people are just nakedly evil. Just like they are just naked with how evil they are. They don't hide it at all. The Jamaican guy who hired me to dig that ditch, he is probably never going to see a day in prison. He is probably going to be a free man till the day he dies, assuming that all that he said was true and it's not BS. But and the thing is too is like he started ranting and raving about vaccines and how the vaccines have like nanobots inside of them, and the nanobots will one day trigger and like millions of people will just randomly drop dead. Like he's just fucking crazy, right? Just the thing is too is if he said that in front of a psychiatrist, I guarantee you he would be the one with a 19-day involuntary, not me. And the thing is too is like that's just from the jobs. You think like I've met, like when I was locked up, those 19 days, they kept changing what I was charged with, but in reality, I was never charged with anything. Legally speaking, that's considered torture. To mentally gaslight someone and to play mind games with them, that's torture. If I was a U.S. soldier in Afghanistan and the Taliban, or better yet, forget it. How about I'm a Ukrainian soldier in Ukraine and I'm captured by the Russians? And during this time when I am captured by the Russians, they tell me that I have been charged in Ukraine with Ukrainian courts by Ukrainian judges. I have been charged with a crime of murder, statutory, whatever. I have been charged, right? And in reality, that's not true. They're making shit up so that I can sign paperwork under duress, or I can be more obedient, or I can sit down, shut up, and not have any more charges added to me. They were saying something along the lines of, if you don't do what we say, we're going to add more charges, something like that. So that, legally speaking, is torture. Under the Geneva Convention, that is torture. A soldier cannot do that to a captive POW. They cannot treat POWs like that. Let alone the fact that when I was in there for 19 days, I had no clothing on. I was buck naked as the day I was born. And on top of that, the only thing I had on was socks. And on top of that, they had no heating. They had no heating at all. And it was dead middle of December in the Northeast. It was cold. So I was cold and naked. That alone is torture. That alone is torture. So again, another thing I learned is how nakedly evil everyone is, and within like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, probably within like 50 seconds, I can tell if someone is someone who's of good character, if it's someone who doesn't deserve the freedom that they've been doesn't deserve to, is someone who needs to be locked up for their own safety, someone who needs the PICU more than me. I mean, be it cops lying on police reports, be it, psychologists lying on reports, whatever. It's just insane how just nakedly evil everyone is all the time to everyone else. It feels, the only way I can describe living in New Jersey is imagine a dystopia where you are completely neurotypical, but everyone around you has antisocial personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder. Imagine a world where everyone is Dexter Morgan except you. Everyone around you is Ted Kaczynski, Ted Bundy, whatever. Everyone around you is the psychopath / sociopath. Everyone is a psychopath or a sociopath except you. That is a dystopia. And that's kind of the dystopia I live in here in New Jersey. That's how people just fucking nakedly act to each other in broad daylight. There was another time too. There was this other time I was working for Dunkin'. And like, I noticed one of my coworkers had teardrop tattoos and literally a face tattoo right here that said 187. Anyone who knows what a 187 is, prison. And he openly would state, I'm a convicted felon, but I also run guns and I have access to firearms, so on and so on. He would just be openly saying, yes, I am currently still dealing drugs. He didn't care. Fucking shit, I'm pretty sure I saw him deal or do drugs during my shift there. Like, dude was nuts. And he's working with the public at a drive-thru. He sees thousands of people every day. Give me a fucking break. And that guy needs to be free? And I'm the one that needs to lose 19 days of his motherfucking freedom? And don't get me started. And don't get me fucking started. Don't get me fucking started on how many times a customer would come up to me and say, I'm wrong, or there's something wrong with me because their coffee was cold. Like, bitch, I didn't make your fucking coffee. I make the donuts in the back in the giant oven. Fuck are you talking about? I just take the orders. I don't make the coffee. That's another thing too. They would either have us on a skeleton crew and everyone is doing multiple things, or they would have us packed to the brim and there would be 10 fucking people. And of course, the person who was pulling their weight the most was Rajneesh. If you're watching this, Rajneesh, fuck you, and fuck. I hate to say it, but fuck you and everyone back in Kuala Lumpur that you're related to. He was Indian. Hey, if he was like a German or something, if it was some German immigrant named Hans Zimmerman or something, I'd say fuck you, Zimmerman, and fuck everyone in Munich that looks like you, whatever. I'm equal opportunity. I don't care. But Rajneesh, he didn't pull his fucking weight for shit. And the thing is too, is they didn't train me for that Dunkin' Donuts job. They didn't train me at all. It's just one day, okay, here's a cash register, here's a coffee machine, here's an espresso machine, have fun. If they order a milkshake, God help you. And it's insane because the thing is like, and another thing is too, is like, they would be like, hurry up, where's my fucking coffee? And I'm like, you're third in line and it's coffee. It's going to be hot. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to get cold, bro. Fuck out of here. There was this, and finally, there was this one time this woman was in my face screaming about her fucking sandwich. And she was saying, oh, well, I ordered ham and cheese. This is tomato and cheese, whatever. I'm like, I didn't make the sandwich. The chef makes the sandwich. Why are you yelling at me? She throws it at me, and I catch it midair, and I start eating it, and I say, get out, I'm calling the cops. And I fucking pick up the phone off the wall, and I start dialing 911. She booked it, too. That woman must have had warrants or something, because the moment I punched in that 9 on the phone, she took off in high heels, no less. She started sprinting in high heels out of the restaurant, through the doors, all the way across the parking lot, all the way into her car, and she sped off. It was insane. It was insane. So yeah, I know. I'm not doing that shit again. I'm never doing a customer facing job again. Not after getting fucking food thrown at me. And the reason why I quit that job in particular, the Dunkin' Donuts job, I quit that for two reasons. One, I had an army recruiter that I was talking to, and eventually she just flat out said, no, we're not letting you into the Army. DOD policy says we can't let in people with autism, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. Okay, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. But I also, the boss, Adam, if you're watching this, fuck yourself. Fuck yourself. Fuck you in the foot you lost to diabetes, you piece of shit. He straight up, this is a true fucking story. He straight up would call me slurs. He was calling me the F, Foxtrot, Alpha, Golf, Oscar, Tango. He would call me that in broad daylight in front of other coworkers and customers. I walked in one day and I was late by like 30 minutes because my car wouldn't fucking start. He started yelling at me, you fucked us, you effing... He was every slur in the book. And there's like 5 fucking customers of different ages and races next to me. I'm like, who are you? Who the fuck are you calling? I was so mad. I was like, well, good news. Tomorrow is my last day. I'm quitting. You ain't got no right to talk to me like that, let alone in front of the customers. Nah, fuck that. He's such a piece of shit. Such a piece of shit, that guy. Yeah, no. And the thing is, too, is like that tells me everything I need to know about that guy. That tells me everything I need to know about him and his character. He's gonna fucking call me slurs, and I didn't even clock in yet, and he's gonna call me slurs. I should have walked right out. I should have walked right out. I should have walked right the fuck out. I should have walked right out. Fuck you talking about? Yeah, I know. And another thing is too is it's just, it was just insane. It was just insane, dude. I'm not doing that. I'm never working fast food ever again. I refuse. To this day, I refuse to work fast food and retail for that reason. Because I have worked fast food, between the psycho customers and the psycho workers, I can't do that. Construction, I can't work construction anymore because while that Jamaican guy was fucking crazy, I'm not doing construction or landscaping because I'm 29 years old and I can already feel it in my fucking back. I've done plenty of odd jobs hanging up drywall and fucking tilling soil and doing landscaping and things like that and doing heavy lifting. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not gonna go out there and swing around a shovel for 13 hours a day anymore. I'm not doing that. I'm getting old. I'm getting fat. I'm not doing that no more. My body, I'm not 22 years old and 300 pounds of testosterone and fat. I'm not doing that no more. And the thing is too, is I have a background in computer science. I have a background in computer science and in philosophy. I'm a nerd. I'm not supposed to be doing fucking manual labor in the first fucking place. But anyway, the thing is too is, and this is the issue, is they don't care. They don't care what you're good at. They want you to. It's like imagine if you're just a natural born chef, right? You're just supernaturally good with cooking, or you're supernaturally good with the guitar, or you're the best linguist ever. You know like 10 languages fluently, whatever. They don't care. Your ass is working at McDonald's. I guarantee you there's an Isaac Newton out there somewhere who is working at McDonald's who is thinking to himself, hey, I know everything there is to know about like chemistry or whatever, and I probably could if I had the ability to. I would be like making a cheaper version of penicillin or whatever, or I'd be like making a vaccine for malaria or something. But no, he's stuck at McDonald's. And that's why I'm not a capitalist, and that's why I'm an ANCOM. But more to the point, I mean, between the psycho parents at the Salvation Army, that job, the psycho lady throwing her sandwich at me at Dunkin', the absolute nutter butter of a boss that was calling me the F slur, the absolute nutter butter Jamaican guy who is openly admitting to all the crimes he's ever done and how many states he has warrants in. And he told me the exact states too. He has like one in like Iowa, one in like one in New York, one in Iowa, and one in Ohio, which is insane. But yeah, no. Between all that, I'm not gonna be doing this shit no more. I want to work. Do not get it twisted. I want to work. If someone said, "Hey, I will pay you 16 an hour," the lowest I'm willing to go is 16 an hour. I'm pretty sure that's not even the minimum wage anymore, but 16 an hour to be a gas station attendant, hell yeah. But here's the thing. One, gas station attendants, they tend to keep it on a skeleton crew so that they can pay you less and make more money and like overwork you. Two, gas stations are no longer like 24/7, so I can't like be night shift at a gas station. Like, I'm not shitting you. Every gas station in my area closes around midnight and don't open until 6. So from like midnight to 6, if you need gas, you're fucked. And yeah, no, the as much as I want to work at a gas station for 16 an hour, I'm going to be honest, no one's hiring. No one's hiring. Like, what? We lost 92,000 jobs in the past quarter or whatever. We're at war with Iran now for some reason, for some inexplicable reason that has nothing to do with Epstein, I'm sure, right? Yeah, no. And the thing is too is at the end of the day, America is a big club and you're not in it. Say what you want, but George Carlin was right. Oddly enough, George Carlin was also a socialist. I know a lot of rightoids and chuds love George Carlin for some fucking reason. George Carlin was an avid socialist. He was a socialist, and I think if I remember correctly, he deserted from the military. He deserted from like the fucking Air Force or something. He went like AWOL from the Air Force over some bullshit about like Nam or something. Like he was a leftist. He was by no means, if he was alive today, he would be the most anti-Trump comedian on earth. He would absolutely hate Trump. But that's just me. Trump is the epitome of America's a big club and you're not in it, because the guy is literally a relative of like royalty from like back when Germany had royalty, before Germany was a republic. Which I think is insane. But yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. When it comes to the United States, I mean, as it stands now, yeah, no, forget it. The job market is terrible. No help is coming. No help is coming on that front. DVR, Community Support Network, etc. No one's really helping me get a job. I go on Indeed and I apply every day, and I don't even get a rejection email anymore. And it's just not worth the squeeze. The juice is it's just not worth the squeeze, man. It's just not worth the squeeze. I have applied to every other job under the sun. I mean, that's just where I'm at. This is where I'm at. I'd love to have a job, but I feel the same. I feel about the job shit as the same way I feel about getting married. I would love to wake up one day and accidentally bump into the right girl at fucking Kroger's, but well, you know the old saying, shit in one hand, pray in the other, see which one gets heavier first. Yeah. And the thing is too is I think America, because it's kind of the belly of the beast when it comes to capitalism, there's this kind of fetishization of work. People like, I don't know why people can't divorce what they do for work from who they actually are as people. I don't know what the hell that's about. But like I don't have any sense of identity from what job I have or I don't have. I'm still me, regardless of whether or not I'm employed. And moreover, I don't give myself value based on what wife I have or what girlfriend I'm with or who I'm sleeping with. I don't get my sense of value or my sense of self-worth from that. I don't get my sense of self-worth from what fucking job I work. Only slaves in the Roman Empire fucking think about, think of themselves, give themselves value based on, whatever work they do. And I think that is actually I want to say it's a Marcus Aurelius quote when he said only a slave quantifies his value based on how much labor he does or something like that. I mean, the Romans, culturally speaking, the idea is the richer you were, the less you had to work. And that you would just have slaves do all the work for you. So by Roman standards, I am pretty well off. By Roman standards, I am pretty well off. Because I haven't worked a day in my life. I don't have calluses on my hands or anything. I've always been told that I have the hands of a surgeon, which I think is pretty ironic, seeing as I flunked out of medical school. But at the end of the day, that's just how it is. And the thing is, too, is at the end of the day, none of this is a choice. I cannot choose. I cannot go to the wife store and and I can't choose a wife off the shelf. I cannot choose what sexuality I am. I can't choose to be pan or I can't go to the doctor's office and say, okay, I'm done being pansexual. I want you to cut out a piece of my brain and make me straight or make me asexual or something. I can't go to the job store and say, I would like to be issued one hour of work of digging a foxhole for the army. I cannot do that. And it's same with hell. It's not a choice on whether or not I wanted to join the army. I wanted to join the army because I saw little to no opportunity economically for me. Like, it was either the army or homelessness, and I ended up homeless. And you can't choose to be homeless. To me, that's like choosing to be murdered. You can't choose to be murdered. You can't consent to be murdered. You can't consent to have your rights violated. You can't consent to suffering. If you do that, you're not in your right mind. That's my opinion. And even then, sanity is completely subjective, so who knows? But at the end of the day, I mean, I had no choice. I did not wake up one day and decide, oh, I'm going to have my army recruiter reject me. I didn't wake up one day and decide and have and tell my professors to flunk me out of med school. I didn't wake up one day and decide, oh, I'm going to be flunked out of my computer science program. I'm going to be, and the thing is, too, is it's not like I was a bad kid or like, I was set up to fail from the get-go. I went to a prep school. I went to a private fucking prep school. And on top of that, I had a fucking 3.8 GPA and I was an honor roll student. So I was showing pretty good promise. So wherever the fuck whatever it was that was working at the school does not exist outside of that school. Whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. And the funny thing is too is like could you imagine talking to my high school teachers like, hey, Mr. So-and-so, what am I doing these days? Well, I'm doing nothing. I'm unemployed. I've never had a job and I never will. Yeah, like that's just insane. It's just insane. And the thing is, too, is there was a time when that wasn't normal, where that was kind of frowned upon. But now every other guy my age and younger, they're exactly where they need to be. You have no idea how many 22-year-old neats there are. You'd be surprised. I mean, look at me. Look at my one chosen brother. He goes to uni, I think, but that's it. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have an income. There's this other person I know. He has a job, but he still lives with his parents. Hell, there's this 22-year-old I know who doesn't have a job and doesn't work and doesn't go to school. Nothing. And the thing is, too, is it's not like I woke up one day and decided, oh, I'm going to be a fucking neat. I want to, as much as I want to. I just can't afford to go to trade school. I can't afford to go to college. I can't afford to, because it's like what? It's like what, $7,000 per semester to learn welding or some shit. And the thing is, too, is as much as I want, and the thing is, too, is I was bitching about this to one of my social workers the other day. As much as I want to become a welder or learn a trade, whatever. As much as I would like that, I'm genuinely afraid to, because how many times have I gone into education? How many times have I gone to trade school, gone to a community college, gone to med school? I went to all these different schools and they will flunk me out, or I will either flunk out or I will drop out. I do not want to go to like, even if you said, hey, right now I will give you a free, all expenses paid trip to wherever to learn a 2-year, go to trade school for 2 years at whatever school and learn whatever trade you want. Like, let's say electrician. I would probably be an electrician because they make slightly more money. But let's say electrician or plumber. Okay, if I become a plumber, if I become a certified plumber, how do I know that's going to get me a job? Because from my experience, I could be the most qualified candidate for the housekeeping position or the dishwasher, whatever, the busboy, whatever, the Walmart greeter, and they're still going to give it to some guy who's going to show up fucking 10 minutes late and on fentanyl. They're still going to show up. They're still going to give it to some fucking tweaker. Same thing too with whatchamacallit, with the trade schools. So it's like, I don't want it to be a nothing burger. It would genuinely break my brain. I would genuinely crash the fuck out and like commit a crime in Minecraft if I went to trade school for 2 years and then 5 years later I am still unemployed and living with my parents. That would genuinely break me. That would genuinely fucking break me. Because I have a degree in this, I have a certification in that. Even when I was certified, even when I was CPR certified, first aid certified, EKG certified, AED certified, all these medical certifications to be an EMT, right? Because I flunked out of EMT school, I might as well try something else. That's something that would also require all these, but not necessarily an EMT certificate. So like a teacher, camp counselor, or something. And even then, I can't get it. If I can't even get a job as a camp counselor, which is kind of like the quintessential I'm 19 and it's summer job, if I can't even do that, if I can't even get a job at Walmart or a job at McDonald's, what makes you think me becoming a fucking welder is even remotely in the realm of possibility? Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. Genuinely, I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that, maybe I'll go to fucking trade school and I'll get myself a fucking trade and I'll become a welder. Or let's say welder. I swear to fuck, you will never see me. If I become a welder and I'm unemployed 2 years after, you will never see me post on this channel again. I will straight up abandon this channel. And if you're ever wondering where I am, check prison. Check prison. I'm going to be real. I'll crash the fuck out, because at that point, there's no point in playing the game fairly. If the Jamaican guy who lives literally a couple blocks from here can talk about, oh yeah, I deal drugs, yeah, I set up dog fights, things like that. If he can openly do that and have an entire life and actually run a business, I see no other opportunity. I would get in the game. I would absolutely become the next Walter White. I ain't gonna fuck with you on that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. Not a day goes by I am not tempted to start pushing product. Not a day goes by I don't think about, I could make thousands of dollars. I could make thousands of dollars every fucking month. I could make easily $7,000 a month if I just cook this shit in my fucking basement. And if I cook this shit in my basement and I sell it to the right crackhead, I can make thousands of dollars every month. It's tempting. It's like a temptation, it's a temptation. It really is. And that goes back to my point of why I'm an anti-capitalist, is because money is like a drug. Money is a fucking drug, dude. Me, I see money as a tool. Because the moment you don't see money as a tool, you'll start seeing it as a drug. There's two types of people in this world. People who see money as a tool, people who see money as a drug. And for me, I do what I can to get by, and that's the end of it. And I'm going to be honest. Again, I don't think I'm going to have a good quality of life. I think I'm going to be unemployed the rest of my life. I think honestly, the only reason I'm here is because my mom is still alive. The moment she's dead, I'm probably going to end up back being homeless. I expect to be kidnapped at least one more time. And I'm going to be honest. I am pushing 30. I'm going to be turning 30 this November. At the same time, I don't think I'm going to live to see 35, and if I do, I doubt I'm going to live to see 50. That's just where I'm at. I would love to have had a different life where I worked my 9 to 5 and I have myself a good little nest egg for maybe buying myself a car I can comfortably live out of, or buying myself a nice wedding ring for a girl I like or something like that. But I just don't have that kind of money. And I don't have that money because I don't have a job. And I don't have a job because I don't have experience. And that's another thing too. Every single fucking kid I know, every single one, everybody I know, I don't have a job because I don't have experience. I don't have experience because I don't have a job. It's that vicious cycle. And that was the one fucking thing I brought up to my high school teachers. In my prep school, there was literally a subset of teachers whose sole job was to be like job coaches and shit. Their sole responsibility was the life after high school program and the, how do you find work after high school shit. They set me up with 2 different internships. One, I was a bagger at a fucking ShopRite, and it sucked, and I hated it. That was the worst 3 months of my entire adult life. And 2, the second one was I was like a data entry clerk at a museum. And I loved that one because it was very repetitive and I worked alone and it was great. But did either of those things being on my resume ever help me land a job? No. Did any of these stupid, out of touch boomer fuck ass teachers, did any of them contact me post high school, ask me how I'm doing? No. Did any of them help me get out of the current situation I'm in where I have no job because I have no experience, and I have no experience because I have no job? Has anyone involved in at any point in my life ever fucking helped me with that? No. It's the same thing I've told everybody involved, be it the people in Minnesota, the people at the PICU, the people I'm involved with now at fucking Dawn Center and fucking Community Support Network and DVRS, all these dickheads. I tell them all the same thing. I want to reintegrate into society. I don't want to be a homeless person. I want to be someone who's like working a job and living, preferably not with his parents, but at this point, I will take living with my parents and working a job. Has anyone at any point helped me reintegrate? That was the word I used. Reintegrate. I want to reintegrate into society. Reintegrate. Has anyone at any point helped me with that? Fuck no, they haven't. So I am done with this shit. I am done with it. I am done. I have spent the better part of 10 years trying to get a fucking job. And it's not like I'm applying to be like a mechanic or like a fucking field technician or like a spec ops soldier. No, I'm applying to be a cashier at a fucking Walmart. I'm applying to be a cleaning maid at a fucking Hotel 8, right? I'm applying to be the cleaning lady at a Hotel 8. I'm applying to be a fucking gas attendant at a gas station. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is not me being racist. This is just me being real. I'm not a Rajneesh. I'm not a Gomez. I'm not a Ramirez. I'm going to be honest. I'm just saying, why is it that all the people I see who are working the jobs that I think I'm qualified for and I want, how come they don't look like me? That's all I'm saying. Even then, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Fuck it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If that's my inner Adam Waffen coming out, oh well. But at the end of the day, at the end of the fucking day, I am sick of this shit. The job market is fucking cooked. The people are feral. The people are feral. And that was before COVID. After COVID, they're just as fucking feral. So I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I am done trying to get a fucking job. And that's all I gotta say. Stay sane, best as you can. It's been Tundro. Peace.